Several days of storms have already brought devastation to some Mid-South communities, killing and injuring multiple people and destroying countless homes and businesses. And the severe weather threat is not over. The National Weather Service office in Memphis has issued a flood watch through Sunday morning. Saturday could bring flooding to multiple parts of the Mid-South. A severe thunderstorm warning was issued for Memphis and Shelby County until 2:15 p.m. by the National Weather Service in Memphis. The warning was extended to 2:45 p.m. The storm could bring destructive 80 miles per hour winds. Quarter-sized hail and tornadoes are also possible. The National Weather Service in Memphis issued a flash flood emergency for Memphis, Shelby County, and DeSoto County. The emergency is in effect until 8:15 p.m. This is an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation. Do not attempt to travel unless you are fleeing an area subject to flooding or under an evacuation order, NWS said in an emergency alert. A flash flood emergency is issued in rare situations when extremely heavy rain is leading to a severe threat to human life and catastrophic damage from a flash flood is happening or will happen soon, NWS stated on their website. Typically, emergency officials are reporting life-threatening water rises resulting in water rescues/evacuations, NWS states. As rain continues to fall in the Memphis area, the National Weather Service in Memphis issued a flash flood warning for the area.
I cannot open the door.
The flash flood warning is in place until 4:45 p.m.
People can't come up the street.
River flooding is a major concern for the Memphis area as the is expected to receive rainfall that could cause generational flooding.
Underwater at this point.
The National Weather Service in Memphis has issued a tornado watch for the Memphis area. The watch will last until 7 p.m. The watch includes parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and Tennessee. A tornado watch means the weather conditions could lead to the formation of severe storms or tornadoes. A tornado warning means a tornado has been spotted or indicated on radar. The National Weather Service in Memphis said the Memphis area is under an enhanced risk for severe storms until 3 a.m. Sunday. The continued severe storms come after multiple days of rain and tornadic activity have hit the Memphis area. Storms have been hitting the Memphis area since Wednesday evening. Several rounds of heavy rainfall will move across the Mid-South through tonight, resulting in storm total amounts over 10 inches along and north of I-40. Isolated amounts of 15 inches are possible. This could lead to catastrophic flooding, the National Weather Service in Memphis said in a post on X. The National Weather Service in Memphis said tornadoes, damaging winds, and flash flooding are primary threats. Large hail is a secondary threat for the Mid-South area. During a media briefing Friday morning, Tennessee Emergency Management Agency Director Patrick Sheehan warned Tennesseans not to let their guard down as storms and heavy rainfall continue through the weekend. We're going to have a little bit of a lull today, though. In West Tennessee, there's still some risk of severe storms, spotty along areas that have already received a lot of rainfall. So don't get lulled into a sense of that. You can put your guard down or not worry about rain, heavy rainfall happening, Sheehan said. Because we do know that we're going to continue to get heavy rainfall, and we're going to experience river and aerial flooding. Saturday is forecast to have another series of high-impact weather events. Sheehan was joined by Tennessee Governor Bill Lee, Tennessee National Guard Major General Warner A. Ross II, and Tennessee Highway Patrol Colonel Matt Perry. They warned West Tennesseans of the potentially hazardous weather and conditions coming soon. They also all said their individual teams would be working to keep those in hazardous areas safe during the potential severe storms. Troopers will not leave West Tennessee in these affected areas. Same with Hurricane Helene in East Tennessee. We still have units that are just there to help the communities put back together, get moving in the right direction, Perry said. Perry said the THP responded to nearly 400 calls for service during storms this week.
This is crazy.
Lee emphasized that because of the advanced warning of the severe storms, lives were saved. While there was great devastation, and certainly there was loss of life, the advanced warning and the heeding of that warning, the response from the folks in those communities to take cover, to find shelter to look for, and listen to the professionals saved a lot of lives, we believe, Lee said. Ross said the Tennessee National Guard has search and rescue crews, high water rescue vehicles, and boat teams positioned to respond to West Tennessee. A flood watch is in place through Sunday at 7 a.m., as the forecast calls for 8 to 10 inches of rain between Wednesday and Saturday. Saturday will be the next harshest day for rain in the area, with the Weather Service predicting between 2 and 3 inches Saturday and 3 to 4 inches Saturday evening. The National Weather Service in Memphis said during the Friday morning briefing that river flooding is ongoing and could worsen as the weekend goes on. Multiple waves of heavy rainfall will bring substantial rainfall amounts, especially along and north of the I-40 corridor, leading to considerable flooding through Sunday. River flooding will likely continue into next week, NWS Memphis said. The NWS said during a flood, water levels and the rate of water flow can change quickly. The agency recommends remaining aware and monitoring local radio and television outlets, avoiding floodwaters at all costs, and evacuating immediately when water begins to rise. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee and Tennessee Emergency Management Agency Director Patrick C. Sheehan declared a state of emergency Wednesday evening due to the expected impact of the severe storms. The Federal Emergency Management Agency on Thursday said in a press release that President Donald Trump had approved an emergency declaration for the state of Tennessee. The action allows FEMA to coordinate disaster relief efforts to reduce the hardship and suffering the emergency has caused on the local population, the press release said. Specifically, FEMA is authorized to identify, mobilize, and provide, at its discretion, equipment and resources necessary to alleviate the impacts of the emergency, the press release said. Emergency protective measures, limited to direct federal assistance, under the Public Assistance Program, will be provided at 75% federal funding. The assistance applies to all 95 counties in Tennessee. Relentless, life-threatening weather conditions continued Saturday across multiple states for the fourth straight day, including the threat of severe flooding in Memphis, Tennessee, and Little Rock, Arkansas, and tornado watches from Texas to Kentucky. Since Wednesday, at least 12 people have died amid the outbreak of severe weather, including a 9-year-old boy in Kentucky who was swept away by floodwaters as he walked to a bus stop, and several people killed in southwestern Tennessee after a strong EF3 tornado ripped through the city of Selmer. The Arkansas Division of Emergency Management confirmed the state's first storm-related death, a 5-year-old child found in a home in southwest Little Rock. The agency did not provide any other details of the child's death, but said it was related to the ongoing severe weather in Arkansas. In Missouri, a 16-year-old firefighter responding to a reported water rescue died in a vehicle crash on Friday in Beaufort, about 60 miles west of St. Louis, according to the Beaufort-Leslie Fire Protection District and a Missouri State Highway Patrol crash report. The firefighter was identified as Chevy Gall. Tonight is a fire chief's worst nightmare, Beaufort-Leslie Fire Protection District Chief Terry Feth said in a statement on Friday. We are heartbroken by the loss of one of our own. Earlier this week, authorities in Missouri said another local fire chief, 68-year-old Gary Moore, died while helping a stranded driver on Wednesday. Moore was the chief of the Whitewater Fire Protection District.
It's hard to tell.
Overall, the death toll stands at 5 in Tennessee, 3 in Missouri, 2 in Kentucky, and 1 each in Indiana and Arkansas. Saturday is expected to the final day of a multi-day high-impact flood event that has wreaked havoc across portions of the lower and mid-Mississippi River Valley, which remains under a high risk for flooding. As of Saturday evening, Memphis, Tennessee, remained under a flash flood emergency as the latest round of torrential rain continues to sweep east across parts of the Mid-South Saturday afternoon. The National Weather Service said it was a particularly dangerous situation and life-threatening flash flooding is either ongoing or will begin shortly. A flash flood emergency is the highest level alert that the NWS issues for a flash flood threat. In Arkansas over the past few days, up to a foot of rain has fallen, equal to about 3 months' worth of rain. By Saturday evening, a flash flood emergency issued earlier for the Little Rock area was canceled, and the worst of the heavy rain was over there. However, major flash flooding continues in the region. Another flash flood emergency in northeastern Arkansas, including the towns of Cherokee Village and Hardy, was also canceled. Earlier Saturday, emergency management officials have relayed to the National Weather Service that multiple water rescues were ongoing in the area, which includes portions of Lawrence and Sharp counties. According to state emergency management officials, preliminary damage reports in Arkansas include flooding on roadways, downed trees and power lines, water rescues, and damage from a possible tornado near the city of Wynne. The National Weather Service has not yet confirmed the tornado.
Estamos atrapados.
Even though the threat for severe storms will gradually lessen over the weekend as the stationary front slowly pushes east, more unsettled weather will continue to erupt over the areas already hit hard by tornadoes and life-threatening flooding. In addition to flooding threats, Saturday evening brings a risk of severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. There are tornado watches posted across 7 states, from Texas to Kentucky, with cities like Memphis, Little Rock, Nashville, and Houston on guard. Over the past 24 hours, there were more than a dozen tornadoes reported in Texas, Arkansas, and Missouri. The worst of the severe thunderstorm, tornado, flash flood threat will be through the evening hours as a line of strong thunderstorms with torrential rain continues to sweep across parts of the South. The greatest tornado threat was across parts of western Tennessee and northern Mississippi, including the Memphis metro area. From East Texas into western Tennessee, a couple strong tornadoes could also occur along with very large hail and destructive wind gusts. The threat for severe weather and excessive rainfall will ease a bit on Sunday as this system begins to slide eastward. However, parts of the Tennessee and Ohio River Valley could see another 3 to 6 inches before this frontal boundary completely moves out of the region by Monday. Parts of the southeast are under a slight risk, level 2 of 5, for severe weather, where storms could generate damaging winds, hail, and isolated tornadoes. With that, thunderstorms generating heavy rainfall, with rates potentially reaching 2 to 3 inches per hour, could cause flash flooding in prone areas. A good portion of Georgia and Alabama, as well as parts of the Florida Panhandle, southern Mississippi, and southeastern Louisiana, are under a slight risk for flooding. The aftermath of catastrophic flooding in Kentucky was all too apparent on Saturday, as witnesses captured video of what appeared to be a large building floating down the swollen Kentucky River. Todd Doherty captured the scene on video of what resembled a house or a similar type of structure with a green metal roof being carried away down the river in Frankfort. Authorities are still unsure where the structure came from, but believe it has been in the river for some time, as most of the state has grappled with heavy rainfall and floodwaters. Residents were warned against venturing into low-lying areas and regions where rivers and streams were above their banks and in flood stage. "You can see where the river is now," said Franklin County Judge Executive Michael Mueller. "Just want to kind of bring everybody up to speed on what the new predictions are. So, They have just released that the river will crest at 44.2 foot on Monday morning at 8 a.m. So, everybody along the river is basically evacuated that needs to. It's a very, very dangerous situation. The river was one of dozens of waterways that were considered to be in moderate or major flood status. The flash flooding has already claimed at least 2 lives in Kentucky, with fatalities reported in Franklin County and nearby Nelson County, according to the governor's office. On Friday, a boy was swept away by floodwaters while on his way to school in Frankfort, and on Saturday, a 74-year-old man was found in a submerged vehicle east of Louisville. Rising rivers are the result of some communities seeing 10 to 20 inches of rainfall in less than a week's time, as a stalled frontal boundary has been the focus of the heavy rainfall and occasional severe weather. Rain totals have been higher than expected, and conditions are serious across the state, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear said. My request for an emergency declaration was approved, giving us the federal support we need. Swift water rescue teams are out, and we've received emergency response support from other states. Please be alert, avoid high water, and make smart decisions. Stay safe, Kentucky. As of Saturday, more than 400 roadways were impacted by flooding across the Commonwealth, with additional rainfall expected over the weekend. The flooding is just the latest in a series of weather disasters to impact the Bluegrass State, where communities are still trying to recover. I want everybody to be safe and take care of your neighbors. If anybody needs anything, as always, reach out, Mueller stated.